In this episode of Let's Talk, Denise Baker, artist and printmaker, talks about the importance of the postcards being sent between people and how that creates art in itself.
Right now that show's in storage, but I'm working with the North Carolina History Museum in the hopes that eventually I might get on their schedule, because there's so many postcards of North Carolina in it, and I think it's a great interactive show, even if you didn't know anybody that participated in it.
Yeah, because it gives a snapshot of all those people, of how their lives are, just through images, simple images. So simple kind of storytelling sequence, which I think is really quite nice, and shows in many cases how similar we are in the way that we think things through, which I think is really good.
I know, and to me, the whole show was almost like printmaking, because it was such a process. Plus the boxes that I made for all of the participants like yourself, everything was hand printed, handmade by me. So it was it was a dream come true, really, to think that you could get so many people involved. And now we're sister cities and have been for 10 years.
And what about the Warren Point and the Maids of Morn?
Oh yes, we have a girl coming over this year. This is the seventh girl that we've sent over for the Maiden of Morn. We didn't have one last year because, as it ended up, she was in marching band and had to be out in Pasadena and couldn't go. But no, we always send a young lady to represent us, and it's a fabulous experience. And we just recently had 10 people from Newry over for the music exchange program that we do with the young kids, where I bring 6 kids from Southern Pines over, and they studied Irish music, and then the kids they work with came over here, and we did a free community concert. They spent a week with us. So we have a lot of wonderful cultural things going on between our communities. But the very first project that we did when we became Sister Cities was a photography project with a photography club in Newry, and it was called What I Like About Where I Live, where your people took photos around your area and sent them to us, and we exhibited our photos of what we love about where we live with yours, and then shipped that show over. And that was part of the Maiden of Morn Festival back in 2011, I believe.
Yes, and that's when some of the people from the Bleeding Pines of Turpentine came over, I think.
Oh, yep. So we also brought, a performance and a black gospel choir over to Newry and Warren Point, and we stayed at Hannah's Close down in Kilkeel in the Irish cottages, and it was absolutely a wonderful experience.
So how do you find the difference between the people of North Carolina compared to the people of Northern Ireland?
Well, because I've been over to your area now 11 times, I almost don't feel that I think we want the same things. We want our children safe and happy and educated, and we want to be able to make a living. And, I find that we want the same things. And, I don't really see that many differences. Even the politics of late seem to have some similarities. But honestly, I think people really are the same everywhere, because we all really do want the same things. We want safe and happy and productive lives for our children and opportunity.
So we've both been educationalists, and I stopped teaching full-time about 5 years ago, but I'm potentially part-time teaching at the moment. And I've seen some differences. What kind of differences did you see in your career as a lecturer? How did you see the educational system?
Well, I think that your students go to college much younger than ours do, for one thing, although that's beginning to change here now, where kids can take college classes at 16, where they didn't go to college here until they were 18. And I think that's something that we're really got from y'all. I think that the textile program and the art program at your school was very, very intense and strict.
Mm.
But I thought that the work was just unbelievable that came out of the school. So, and I think that teachers over here, I don't know, I think that we're treated a little bit better, maybe. I mean, we all had our own offices, and, we had a lot of say in, our opinions seemed to matter more, where I think that it was a little bit different when I was over there, although everyone was great to me, and I loved teaching. I loved teaching there.
Yeah, well, I actually was teaching in the art department this year. I was covering classes in life drawing for about 5 or 6 weeks,
Really?
which I quite enjoyed because it got me back into the kind of drawing side of, because I would sketch with them to show that I wasn't just there as a piece of, texture. I could actually draw as well as they could. So again, it was showing by example of ideas and getting people. It was really good fun because we ended up doing like 1 minute sketches, 10-minute sketches, half-hour sketches, and really, getting them to work hard to try and get the figure work drawn out, which I think was, and I messed around with lights as well, which they hadn't. Normally they just had somebody sat in the class, but I brought a few lights in to cast shadows, and so they
that was the
got more 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it. And I do 3D work in on the computer, so I'm always sort of having to light things to create shadows. And I think that came out in what I was doing. So I enjoyed that. That was actually good fun. We have more on the way, so please subscribe to this channel and check out the link below if you'd consider becoming a patron to help us keep making more content. Thanks for watching.